Hello!
That's a good beginning.
That's a good beginning. Alright, where do we go from here? Yes, going back to about 96, we were researching energy as a main topic, and we got us all over the place, from hydrogen to water technologies.
So you're saying us, who was the other people?
Oh, sorry, I commonly refer to in like we. A lot of people chase me up on this, and I put it down as me, myself, and I constitute the we. Alright. Yes, being heavily intrigued by the developments or the writings about a guy by the name of Victor Schauberger, I went off into a tangent that I wanted to recreate what he had done, and by wanting to recreate what he had done and persisting, I feel that I was enlightened to rediscover the necessary patterns and geometry needed to undertake these tasks. The first thing that I ever found was actually this little piece here, which is very much the Vortex, and is quite a remarkable little device in itself. Very little pressure is needed. If you give it a bit, it cranks up very easily. This obviously spun me out for a while, being a spin motion. And then a voice in my head said, have another look at the pattern. It was actually quite coincidental. This is a bit mixed up all over the place.
Is this the pattern?
Well, when I initially found this little Vortex design, this pattern here is a progression of time as well. You don't get everything in one hit.
So we'll zoom in on the pattern a little bit, because there seems to be sets of concentric circles in threes, is that right?
Yeah, in particular one, yeah. It's actually an egg in a circle. That's partly upon a lot of things actually come from a lot of things have actually come from this book here. I'm not a great avid reader myself, but some very an egg in a circle or in a pendulum, as putting out there, as part of the key to finding the main pattern. The other partial key from out of this particular book is on here, which is the Buddhist, the dynamic lots of phi, 1 to 1.618. A part of the realisation of all these things that we've realised, and that is that everything spirals. It is nature. It's from our DNA, the double helix, to as far as they look out into space, spiral like these, to everything that we do, from tie shoelaces to machines, everything all together with spiral format. It's electricity, it's everything. As deep as you want to look in just about any field, you'll find it. The geometries that we've discovered here, or rediscovered, are formed on the phi ratio of the 1.6, and there's another, it's not necessarily a constant, but another number that we use in there, which is 2.1. The way into it is diameter divided by 2.1 equals this, times 1.6 equals that. That's your key points. Then it's just a divisional factor, however many divides you want to go. Yeah. Once you find the point down the bottom here, that's just happens to be a what we call a key point. Everything is just finding and looking and manipulating these patterns to get an understanding of what can be made from them as far as different shapes and forms, and then sort of making enough pieces and putting the different shapes and forms together to this waxed brown poker. This would have been this cut in this particular pattern, or not in this pattern, but a pattern similar. Each cut gives a slight variation of form. It can be manipulated in many ways. Yes, like super thing. But it's quite unique. One of the ways to use it is to spiral it, obviously, since the spiral is the oil.
And this can be done in copper foil, brass foil,
Yeah, and metal.
gold metal,
The only limitation is...
even plastic.
Yes. The only limitation is thickness, and to be able to manipulate it. Paper is obviously paper is actually generally quite hard to manipulate because it's so soft and flexible. It doesn't like to keep the shapes in form. But it is actually all of these geometries and things do take time to make. It's not a fast shape to use, especially not when you start spiraling things up, because they can lap and uncoil quite easily. And different mediums have different effects. These are some of the earlier pieces. It's not actually from this pattern. This is from I'll show you. This is 4-stage geometry. This particular piece here would have been made from this one, and even then it was a full pattern once it's cut out. These patterns, they're very ornate and pretty in themselves, but when you cut them out and you start manipulating it, you can make all different sorts of things. Just like a sword handle could be many different things. Depends. That's part of all these patterns and things, is that it's what you see it to be, because it's only can be whatever you think it can be. This is made from that starting point, 7 pieces. To me it actually looks fairly Jewish or Islamic.
It's almost, yeah, like a helmet.
Yes, that's right. It's like the little cap that they sit on their head, the fucking Jews and that. Yeah. But then it can be whatever you want it to be, you know? A beautiful light shade and all different things. Or a bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Alright. Here's another very pretty ornate shape, which
It's very phallic.
yes, very alike. It's from the same pattern as this, except as you can see it's inverted in this direction. And
But they can sort of fold in and fold out on themselves as well.
they can. Yeah. It's very flower-like. It's very natural, because it is nature. Everything with nature. Which would also be from that same starting point, this particular one. It's actually, there's an interesting little shape that comes up out of this, which is something that we would have seen before. I've seen it before anyway.
That's a bit of a grail shaped spiral form.
It's actually depicted a lot in in building game, and a lot of the ornate ceilings and things like that. I'm sure it was Victor Schulberg's iteration for his little flying saucer device, which I have. It's actually a cross between several different patterns led to that design. But
So these are the separate components of the spaceship device. This is the one that sheared off the concrete block and went through the roof.
that's right.
Your model did not yet.
Not yet.
You haven't fired this one up, have you?
Not, you know. These pieces pretty much go together. There's another cap on here. It would make moulds to be able to produce those types of things. This is a recent discovery, realisation. It is a component that would need to be slightly altered to fit into here. And when it's compressed between the two plates, like around there, so that is put that through here, it has to conduit it that way. Looking at the pattern, to me it looks like it's going to make huge vacuum potential, because you've got many, basically for that much peripheral edge of finning is sucking over this much starting point. It's constantly accelerating. It's dividing. It's like a natural division.
Still branching there, isn't it?
It is.
You've cut each piece down the middle, and then it's been cut down the middle,
divided.
and it's cut down the middle, and then it's cut down the middle. So you've got
Yeah.
one arm going out into 2, then into 4, and into 8, and then into 16 at the end. Yeah, at the very edge, there's 16.
Depending on what you're looking at. This is partly just an inspiration piece.
But you've got a load model of that outside, which we'll have a look at in a minute, maybe even run it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a very interesting piece.
Okay.
It looks like plasma discharge. It's like a river flowing and dividing, like the delta as it runs to the sea. It's like veins, the division of blood vessels. It's like a tree, the branching of a tree out to its tips. So in it is a stationary manifestation of natural energy shapes. Yeah. This is like a piece, like the plasma discharge energy shape that we were looking at earlier in a small scale. It's not quite large, about 520mm diameter. On my purpose-built lathe, so I can swing up 800mm diameter. Yeah, this particular one isn't quite right. I've taken it just as a first piece of this size. It's experimental game. It's all about. This is showing nature in itself, using the egg in the circle as a starting point, dividing it out.
Show that again a bit. Oh, that's it. These are using the pattern and just cutting the pattern, very simply, not being bent at all, but this is how it ends up bending itself as the cut happens.
Yeah, this is a natural formation straight off the snips.
Oh,
It's a
beautiful.
very pretty shape.
Come on, put it on.
And just for something different, yeah. It makes some interesting headpieces. There's a few different ways of doing things, and several different pieces. That one's not too bad. Aha!
This is what Schaberger's head was really like.
Yeah. Then we have got like this, which are like devil horns. Because funny enough, it's from these patterns you get actually the formation of the 666.
And when you put these shapes on, does your head actually come up with the ideas even better?
No, I haven't actually tried that one. Yes. They're not necessarily from there.
It's on.
It's on. This is something I have made from the patterns. Part of what I'm doing is to show you what can be done, possibilities, and for me it is a sacred design anyway. This is a very nice piece. It's like the, what would you call it?
The talk.
Yeah, it is a talk. The wreath, golden wreath. The way that the arms come up. It's just a piece that we've made, quite a nice piece.
Is it made of solid gold, or is it plated?
This one's a bronze, phosphorus bronze base,
Yeah.
and plated 0.4 carat. It's quite a piece, a bit extravagant for some people. That's right, that one's and so on. Got different pieces there. These things that we're showing are only a small fraction of the things that we've made from these patterns. That was actually from the pattern again. Interesting shape.
Now we've got the kangaroo and your emu, the Australian emblems.
We've got the coat of arms.